But now we get the opportunity to really kick off the NFL season, which started officially yesterday with a big Buffalo Bills win over the Rams. That's for sure. With two celebrity guests, we've got the Foss back with us, Steve Foster, along with his former college teammate at Princeton, Dean Cain, who makes a return appearance on the show. A very happy Dean Cain after the team he played 4 years ago, the Buffalo Bills, getting that week 1 win. Gentlemen, welcome back to the show, and thanks so much for being here today. How are you?
I'm feeling good. I'll tell you that right now. Feeling real good today. It's super hot in California, which would be like a regular Tuesday in Texas, but could not be happier the way Buffalo came out last night and dismantled the former the reigning Super Bowl champions right here in SoCal at SoFi.
Hey, I'm happy. It's great to be back. Anything that does with home, I'm down. I got my best friend, roommate, and teammate also on the broadcast. Happy for once, because a lot of times Texas put foot in that California, but not this time. And I know the boys at whatever, Don, Dale, Bosco, or whatever, they put it in on Allen. They came to Texas. So you got a couple early on in the season. But I am going to go back to Cali and say all hail to a guy that came to El Paso, Texas, and taught me how to catch a football in the backyard in El Paso, Texas, on All-Way Drive, baby. Now, Hall of Famer, 3-time Super Bowl champion, Cliff Branch, rest in peace, just was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
I love that he taught you how to catch a football, Foss. I wish he had taught you to have his speed, though.
The dude was a world-class sprinter, man. I mean, damn.
I wish he'd have taught me to have his speed.
I do have the agility. I did have the moves.
I didn't say anything about the agility.
Have the 4.2.
Nobody very few have that.
Have the 4.2, boss.
That's true. Very few do have the 4-2. All right. Now, by the way, as we get started on this football spectacular, we're going to go through the NFL quickly and kind of preview things. Dean, let me start with you in this. With the Bills playing so well in the second half and taking a 10-10 game and turning it into just a complete destruction, okay? A complete destruction of really, what is it? The defending Super Bowl champs. Are you right now in the belief that with a very, very good AFC, which features all 4 teams in the West, which could all be playoff teams and deep teams in the playoffs, not to mention the Bengals and everybody else in the AFC, do you think that Buffalo, this is the year that they run all the way through and run it to the big one out there in Glendale?
I think so, 100%. The short answer. To expand upon that, I mean, I was there the year before we had our 4 Super Bowl run. That would have been a great time. If I'd have played 5 years and stayed healthy, I'd have seen 4 Super Bowls, which would have been unbelievable. Those were incredible teams, lots of Hall of Famers. This team, though, it's the right time. And it could have happened. I think if Buffalo had beaten Kansas City last year, Buffalo would be our current reigning Super Bowl champions. So that the last 13 seconds of that game against Kansas City, otherwise they'd have it already. And I think they are the team to beat. I think the odds makers have them as the team to beat. And their performance last night defensively was unbelievable. Offensively, especially in that second half, I mean, they were really clicking on all cylinders the entire game. So yeah, that nothing that they did last night gets rid of the idea that they're going to win the Super Bowl. I think even with the strong, if they stay healthy, that's always the question in the NFL, and any football season is, can everybody stay healthy? And Josh Allen was out there dropping his shoulder down, flying to laughing after he looked like he was just having fun. And that is infectious. And I hope that's the way it continues for the whole year, because there's a reason he's the odds on favorite to be the Super Bowl MVP the league MVP as well.
Not to mention the fact that they're really in a division that they should just run through everybody. I mean, you look at New England, they're in a rebuild. The Jets are still awful. And really, the Dolphins are banking their hopes on a left-handed quarterback that hasn't proven anything yet. So if you think about it, this should be Buffalo's division for the taking, and it really shouldn't even be that close, Steve.
Yeah, I don't think that. Oh, sorry, Foss, you go ahead, but I don't think the division's even a question. I'm talking about Super Bowl or bust.
Foss.
It would be interesting to have Dallas and Buffalo play again in a Super Bowl. much more of a reach in the NFC for Dallas than Buffalo. I harken back before Adrian Broadus was even a mere pup or a twinkle in his parents' eyes. One of the favorite sayings of my dad, rest in peace, was one of Howard Cosell. And he would say, Miami may have the oranges, but Buffalo has the juice. And now it's the JU Ice, and it is Josh Allen and company. And I believe wholeheartedly that with Josh Allen at the helm, a revitalized again Von Miller trying to go an unprecedented 3 Super Bowl wins with 3 different teams. We had those who have done it with 2, multiple. It was very impressive, although most Super Bowl champions, their initial game back from that don't perform well. It takes nothing away from Buffalo being the top 3 in the AFC, probably top 3 in the NFL at the start of the season. And we could see Dean with us all week during Radio Row, et cetera, in Glendale, representing Bills Nation.
Good. Well, we're planning on being there broadcasting live. So maybe Dean will then get a chance to join us face to face and deliver that for us from Radio Row. I would love that. By the way, Foss, since you are the diehard Cowboys fan of the group, because if you think about it, you've got Dean with the Bills. I'm with the Jets. God help us. Adrian just got through a terrible loss with the Rams, and you are the lone Cowboys fan. Do you believe that the Cowboys will even be able to win the division this year, since the Eagles are becoming the popular, trendy pick right now from a lot of NFL experts to win the NFC East?
Well, the Raiders were the first wild card team to win the Super Bowl. It may be that Dallas is an NFC wild card and not the NFC East champion. I think Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown and what they bring, I think, as you and Adrian know, they had an excellent draft. There were a couple of folks that I wish that Philadelphia didn't draft and that Dallas did, with the issues of the line and trying to get together and put things together. I don't think it's so far-fetched that the Eagles may wind up being the NFC East champions. However, Dallas is a playoff team as a wild card. They play an extra game. And it may be fun again to see Buffalo Dallas in the desert. I'd be talking a lot of mad cash. Who knows, probably one evening, Adrian, you and Cappy may have to separate 2 teammates and roommates and best friends. We just have a thing. We don't hit each other anymore in the face. I'll tell you this quick story. We're about 27 and I'm out visiting Dean, and I said something. He was taking too long. We were ready to go. He had a great night set up, and he's good. He's good with the bolos, and he stuck me right in the lip. He hit me in the top of the lip, and already black people's lips are usually a little more full than the rest of y'all's. My lip on the left side became more fuller. And he laughed at me, he says, "You're going out tonight with a fat busted lip." And I know this was the 90s because he was doing Lois and Clark. So he was Superman, and I couldn't help myself. And I went against best friend code, and I hit him right in the eye. Pop! I said, "You're going out with a little shiner on that side. And wardrobe and makeup are going to have to deal with you in your next episode of Lois and Clark, smart guy." So we went out, busted lip, busted eye, still had a great time.
Chicks dig the scars, Foss.
Yeah. But you may have that with Buffalo and Dallas and Glendale. Maybe we need to sign something now that I am attorney at law that would
sign the waiver,
exclude us from putting up the Dukes. But we like to slap box and have a good time.
Well, I'm a police officer now. I'll just arrest us both. You'll get us out. It's perfect.
And then I get us out of jail.
Dean, I have to ask you the actual validity of this story, because sometimes Foss tends to embellish some stories at times. No, I'm not trying to throw you under the bus, Foss. I just want to hear the other side of this story.
Of that story?
Yes.
He's 100% correct.
Oh man,
That's
I'm
how-
bummed out.
False rest, baby.
That's how it
False
went.
rest.
That is
That's
absolutely how
right.
it went.
The nation.
It's true.
Rest.
That
There's
one's
no
true.
need to- here's the crazy thing, Adrian. Our stories are that good that we really don't have to embellish. I know that sounds crazy. I know I'll tell you one that's never been revealed.
Oh, geez.
And I was the one that pulled privilege. But one night, and it's been 20, 30 years ago, so it doesn't matter now. It may. We go out to the Hollywood Tropicana, which is and we had a couple soda pops. And Dean has the bread. So your boy goes in and mud wrestles against the Cha-Chas.
Yep. You saw Stripes, right? Stripes.
Yes, we
the
did,
dead? Yeah, it was
absolutely.
Stripes.
Yeah, except the difference is Foss didn't drop dead. So
No.
there's
No,
a
that
big
was old
difference.
school.
Old
Old
school,
school.
that's
No,
right.
yeah. Get
Old,
this.
I remember
No,
you're talking Stripes.
Oxburger.
Wait,
Remember
Stripes, we're talking,
Oxburger and Stripes?
John Candy.
John
John
Candy.
No, not John
Okay.
Candy.
No.
Oh,
Yeah, it was John Candy and Stripes.
Yeah, John Candy. Yeah, John Candy. Yes.
okay.
Rest his
Yeah.
soul.
Not Chris Farley, John Candy.
That's
Right.
right.
Exactly.
Right.
Let's
Yeah,
put it this
I-
way. Foss
I
did a good
pulled-
job.
I did a good
wrestling.
job. I did a good job.
Did you take care of business in the mud?
Absolutely.
Okay.
He's a mutter.
All right. So
Hey, with the field Eastwood had back then, you had to be a mutter. Now
There
we
you
got
go.
nice stuff. Oh, we got big jumbotron. Oh yeah, but before Coach Lopez, man, we were playing in junior high surroundings.
I mean, do we have any photos of the Foss mud
Oh,
wrestling
no.
experience, or did those
Oh,
not
no.
exist?
No,
We didn't have a camera. We had to have a camera those days, and you couldn't bring a camera in there. So nobody had phones. There were those phones, the cell phones we have today, did not exist. There was none
Thank
of that.
God.
So
Thank God. So you're gonna have to trust us. You're gonna have to trust us on that one too. That's never been told.
I like that story. How long were you in the pit for, Foss?
Dean, what? 10 minutes?
Yeah, like 10 minutes. Yeah, or 8 minutes, 10 minutes, and it was multiple assassins in there with him. So it was not him alone.
Right.
There was a lot of bodies in there.
Foss, is it one of
around.
the highlights? Is it one of the highlights of your life?
I mean, it's just one of those stories where
Good
Adrian's
story.
like, Dean, is that true? And I'm like, yeah, it's true. I mean, we got a bunch of true stories.
Okay.
I
Well,
just decided to let that one go because it's one of those ones that you really want to tell the guys, but you have to let it get far enough along in your life before you tell it. Because now people can say, well, y'all were young and silly and foolish. You were out on a weekend and this happened.
And I got a 22-year-old now. My son is
Right.
22.
Right.
He calls me from school and he's like, "Hey, Dad," and there's let's just say he's a college kid now. I'm not gonna throw my kid under the bus now. But I see what those kids are doing. He's like, "Dad, did you ever do anything like this?" No. No, I did
And
not.
all I've done is mud wrestled one time.
That's it. Nothing else.
Nothing else.
All right, guys, we've got a break. We got 20 minutes left. We'll come back. We got plenty more to talk about with the two of you, and we'll look forward to plenty more NFL predictions as well. So keep that coming up. This has been a terrific start to our conversation, our 2022 NFL preview with the Foss, Steve Foster, and Dean Cain. You are proud showing that NFL football, aren't you, Foss? That is something here. Give us a good shot of that. Let's see that football.
100th anniversary football. You talked NFL. It's one of the latest that I have in the repertoire. So just acknowledging the league. I mean, I had a cap, but Cliff Branch meant a lot to me, and being part of Raider Nation. I wanted, as this is his year. He's inducted in this year's class. So just a celebration to a guy who really, was that good, that came to El Paso, Texas, and took time out for me in my backyard. Second time he came, he brought Clarence Davis. And so, he made the catch against Miami with Stabler. falling down, and you don't know who's going to influence you, in your life, and it's unfortunate he didn't get to put on the jacket, but I'm yeah, NFL. Let's do it.
Now let's do this. Since you're talking branch, let's jump right into the AFC West, because besides the Raiders, who, by the way, are going to be in a great one this weekend against the Chargers, that should be a lot of fun. You still have the Chiefs. And let's not also forget about a team that is also thought to be very highly regarded, the Broncos with Russell Wilson. So we've got 4 teams that could all be playoff teams. Let's get back to you, Foss, then we'll go to Dean. Give me your thoughts on how you feel the AFC West will be shaping up this year.
I give the advantage to the Chargers, although, Pat Mahomes being from Texas and, winning the Super Bowl, I think the development with Herbert with receivers he's more familiar with gives him a little bit of advantage. I like Kansas City's defense. It's not bad at all. I think it's the Wild Wild West. Russell Wilson is no slouch. He brings a lot to that Broncos team. Derek Carr now with Devontae Adams. Max Crosby from the Dallas-Fort Worth area, all pro. That's a great division. It's a great division. It's really why you want to watch the NFL. And I think that it's that division versus the Bills and in the AFC. Oh, okay. It'd be nice to have that in your office, and it's wide open. Is that Big Daddy Cain in the back?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So Big Daddy Cain, Dean's dad, and I always like to gang up. So I gotta say hello to the patriarch. He's sneaking in.
We're on live, Dad, so don't say anything untoward.
Well, I can't
we can't say.
Good to see you, Steve. You look good.
He says you look good, Foss.
Thank you. It's great to see you in the background too. It's been too long, but thanks for the acknowledgement. And it's going to be a great NFL season.
It'll be perfect.
Maybe we get a chance to catch up.
To watch high school football right now.
Dad's going to go watch a high school football game.
Nice.
Okay.
I like that.
Fair enough. Excellent.
See you later,
But
Papa.
we gotta like I said, I think it's AFC West versus Buffalo.
Okay.
And then, I think that the NFC is much more wide open. Dallas gets in as a wild card. And,
I'm asking
that's
about the
my
AFC West, not the Cowboys.
Specifically.
Yeah. For
Let
crying
me
out loud.
jump in.
so
Foss.
you want to give the ranking? It's too early to tell. I can't.
Listen, you've opened your mouth for the last 3 or 4 minutes. I want to give Dean a chance now to talk.
Thank
Dean,
you.
please, if you can, bring some sanity to this conversation on the AFC West.
Ooh. Foss broke down all the people and players he loves, and that's it. I think the Chargers are exciting because they're getting pretty close last year. Do they have a defensive line that can stop their run? Who knows? That's been a big problem for them. They're exciting to watch. I'm most excited to see the Raiders this year, maybe because my parents just got a house in Henderson about 7 miles from the facility or 5 miles from the facility. And I love the fact that you got, college teammates and best friends, Derek Carr and Devontae Adams doing their thing. I can't wait to see that magic. Josh Jacobs is always sort of forgotten about. I think he's great. He's going to have a great year. And I even like the addition of Zamir White, Zeus coming in out of Georgia. I think it's going to be exciting. And Russell Wilson with the Broncos could be really exciting, but I think it's going to be the Raiders that take it this year. I think they have the right firepower and the right chemistry.
Wow. Okay. So Raider Nation, get excited. You think that in that stacked AFC West, it's going to be the Raiders. How many teams are going to come out of the West in the playoffs? How many wild card teams are we talking about?
All 4 should.
Mhm.
It's crazy that much there, but I'll give it 2 teams. I'll say the Raiders and the Chargers.
Okay. Raiders and Chargers. Foss, what about you? How many come out of the West?
I'm gonna get a little more overzealous. I'm gonna go with 3 teams. I'm gonna go with Raiders, Chiefs, and Chargers.
Okay. So
It's hard to
everybody,
keep the Chiefs out, but shame on me.
Everybody's in agreement that the Broncos with Russ will not be in the postseason this year. Adrian, you feel the same way? You feel the Broncos will not make it?
Yeah, and this was kind of the question I wanted to ask both of you guys, earlier. But I think the Broncos might be one of those pretenders, one of those teams that we may have overhyped over the offseason. I'll start with you, Dean, and switch it to you, Foss, after. Who are some of the pretenders that you guys see out there across the NFL?
Ooh, I hate to take that on right there. Wow. I don't think the Rams are pretenders. I mean, they're coming off what they've done. I don't think a lot of people thought that Cincinnati were sort of pretenders, if you will, coming out of nowhere. I don't agree with either one of those. I think they're both good, solid ball clubs. Kansas City could be. Kansas City could possibly be. I mean, you have, listen, I don't want to question Patrick Mahomes. He's amazing, but without Tyreek Hill, that's going to change things. It's going to change things. I mean, the Jets, we know where they're going to be, so we won't say they're not pretending to be anything other than what they are.
Thank you.
No offense, man. The Giants, it's going to be exciting to see the Giants. If they win 3 games, it's a successful year for Jets or the Giants at this point in time. I don't think Philadelphia is going to be as good as people are saying. I don't. I've yet to see their, listen, everything goes out the window after this weekend. Once you actually get to see people play, I was shocked in the Buffalo Rams game that Cam Akers got 0 points, 0 anything. And I was surprised at how much they played Zach Moss on Buffalo. So I mean, until you see people up there running around and see them facing off after this weekend, I'll have a much better idea who's pretenders and who's not.
Foss, your turn, and then we'll get to the next question.
I'm going to go New Orleans. I'm going to go with Pittsburgh. I'm going to go with the third one that popped up. I know people are going to look at me crazy, is San Francisco.
Well, you're not really going out on a limb. I mean, Trubisky is quarterbacking Pittsburgh. Frisco is being quarterbacked by Trey Lance, and New Orleans is being quarterbacked by Jameis Winston. I mean, we're not talking about Jimmy G, Drew Brees, or Ben Roethlisberger here. You're picking a bunch of guys that are inexperienced. So I get that. I really do.
Well, but they have good teams. They still could make a difference, but I think it's all window dressing when it's said and done. I think the hype that you get from their fans really don't measure up with really how their team could probably come to fruition. Let me give you a difference. Dallas will make the playoffs. The question becomes, why they're not a pretender is I don't really believe they go to the Super Bowl all the time. They may this year, possibly, but I'm not a Super Bowl bandwagon every year type of guy. You got to be a realist, but they aren't pretenders. They have a defense that really makes you say, okay, if Dak and Zeke and CeeDee Lamb and Dalton Schultz can just do anything remotely close to what was going on in the 90s and the late 70s, they have the wherewithal to carry themselves at least to the NFC division or championship game.
Okay. We're with the Foss, Steve Foster, Dean Cain, former college teammates, best friends for life here on Sports Talk, talking NFL right now for 2022. Gentlemen, is it safe to say the Green Bay Packers are entering this season as the class of the NFC, and even without Devontae Adams now going to the Raiders, that this is their best opportunity to get back to the big one? Because with the Rams losing yesterday and Brady's and all the issues surrounding Brady in Tampa, that Green Bay has right now, at least on paper, the best team in this conference. Back to Foss, then to Dean.
Now, I think it could be a Green Bay-Dallas scenario, but I think Dallas would finally come back around and get them this year.
You are the ultimate homer when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys. You really, I mean, they think about what happened with them. They lost one of their anchors on the offensive line. They're dealing with that problem. They lost Amari Cooper, and you're ready to anoint a team that hasn't been to the Super Bowl in 26 years right back to the big one. They haven't even been able to win playoff games.
I said the NFC Championship.
Okay, but then you said they were going to beat Green Bay, right?
They I think they have a good team enough to do that. especially losing Devontae Adams and, having to now look, Randall Cobb is not the same guy. Yeah, he can run routes, but you don't have the guy in Kansas City, Scantling. You've lost some weaponry. I love Aaron Jones. I picked him on my team because he's going to have to pick up some of the load because of these guys aren't there. He's so familiar with Aaron Rodgers, but you need some emergence of at least one more target downfield to make me feel comfortable that Green Bay stays up with the rest of the teams in the NFC.
All right, fair enough. What about you, Dean? They do have some rookies. They've got Dobbs, who's getting a ton of play right now. Romeo Dobbs. Yeah, you tell me. Do you think that Green Bay is the team to beat in the NFC?
I think the Rams are still the team to beat in the NFC without a doubt. I think Green Bay is it's just weird to not have Devontae Adams for Aaron Rodgers. It's a weird thing, and until I see him play without Devontae for a couple games to see if Christian Watson can step up. He's a rookie. Romeo Dobbs looks great, but he's been playing against not starting corners and not starting secondaries, and things just change when the big boys get in. I mean, last night looked so different than the preseason stuff we got to see. So I think that Green Bay is obviously up there. I think Minnesota could be kind of fun and interesting to see what happens with them and their new offense and that high-powered Jefferson is a stud. Thielen's still got stuff in him. Dalvin Cook is always a threat. I've just always hated Green Bay, so I can't say nice things about him. Maybe it's because I also am a Dallas Cowboys fan, and maybe it's because of all the times that I've watched Aaron Rodgers specifically come back and beat Dallas in the waning seconds of what should be a sure victory hurts me. Detroit Lions, I was born in Detroit, so I always have a special feeling for them. The same feeling for them, though, unfortunately. It just doesn't happen. I think it's the Rams. I think Dallas could be in the mix, and I want them to be, but Green Bay, I just don't know. I know it's one player, but if that one player was Aaron Rodgers, I'd say no chance. But I just think it's going to be a different team. Something tells me it's not going to be Green Bay's year.
If you guys had to pick an MVP today, who would you pick? I'll start with you, Foss, and then go to you, Dean. Early prediction on MVP for this year.
Well, what you saw last night from Josh Allen makes it hard to go away from him, but I have Justin Herbert as possible MVP. But Josh Allen threw down the gauntlet last night and said, "Hey, Justin, good luck." I don't know if Justin keeps up with what Josh did last night. But there, if you want a one-off, Justin Herbert.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Dean?
I disagree with him 100%. It's all Josh Allen.
Well, that's what I was saying.
I know. I love Justin Herbert. I think he's so much fun and a great player to watch. I actually, back in fantasy football days, when he was the backup to Tyrod Taylor, I drafted Herbert in some of my leagues, dynasty leagues. So I got a gold mine out of him, but I've always loved that guy. And I've watched him play Pac-10 out here. So I knew this guy had a rocket of an arm, and I love how he's progressed. Pac-12. Well,
now it's 10, I guess,
now who knows what it is?
Yeah. Well, now, because the LA is moving to the Big Ten.
Out. Who knows? Whatever that division is. But it's Josh Allen. Josh Allen is the clear front runner. The way he played last night was just flawless. And he looked, like I said earlier, he looked like he was having fun. It looks like he is totally in control. He knows where he's going. And even when he has to improvise, he's still just Joe cool under pressure. And he just looks so good. I think it's going to be Josh Allen walking away with it this year.
All right.
I like how you positioned the helmet too. It looks good in this photo.
Right? It does. It's a rocking helmet. The Bills Nation would be is it Bills Mafia? Is that what we have?
It's Bills Mafia.
Yeah.
And there's a picture here with Ralph Wilson, who was our Hall of Fame owner, of course. Bruce Smith, Hall of Famer. This little skinny guy in the back, number 36. Who is that? Who is that? It's one of those things that showed up on Twitter. I had never seen that photo when someone was saying something about Ralph Wilson. I'm like, wait a minute. That's me. That's me. After practice. All right. With two Hall of Famers in the background. I'm fine. I'm good with that.
Do you still have your Buffalo?
Helmet.
Do you have your Buffalo? Do you have your Buffalo Bills jersey still? Do you still have those?
Yes.
Good. All right.
I got one jersey and one helmet.
Now I know
And
Foss will be with us every week talking Cowboys football. Dean, you're going to be a little harder to get a hold of these next few months. How are you going to be able to keep following the NFL with your work schedule? What's coming up?
Well, not to say I have a VPN and things of that nature, but I can pretty much watch any game, anytime, any state, any country. I do have a home in Europe, and so I've got that kind of.
He's gonna have one in Austin soon too.
So I can see any game, any place, anytime. So I'll keep up with it completely. I think I have
got the
19
vision.
fantasy team.
He got the vision. He can see people's TVs from miles away. He's like, what y'all watching?
Whoop. Yep. So I love that. I don't have. I think NFL Plus is sort of the same thing as NFL Game Pass. They're all kind of getting that thing. So I got that. I got everything.
Okay.
I'm going to watch every game. I'll see them. And if I can't get them on that day, the wonderful thing is you can watch a condensed version in like 40 minutes.
Yeah.
And I'll watch that. I love Red Zone. I'll watch Red Zone. Like when it sits down for 8 hours on my Sundays, bam, computer's up. My fantasy teams are up. The games are on Red Zone. Let's go.
He's got a bigger NFL budget than most.
I'm a true fan.
That's exactly. Well, listen, congratulations on the win yesterday. I'm predicting a big season for the Bills. I think they're going to just have a rocking year. It's going to be a lot of fun. Let's get back in touch. Hopefully we will connect before the Super Bowl week out there in Glendale. But we appreciate you both spending time and starting us off here on the Friday show and giving us the lowdown on the NFL season.
Bless it. Thank you for having us.
You got it. There they are, folks.